With Sally, it's our weekly live, and today we're talking about 5 types of imposter syndrome. So if you're somebody who keeps feeling anxiety, fear, self-doubt, and you're not sure why, well, did you know that 70% of people actually feel it? Today we're going to dig deeper into that. I'm going to share with you the 5 types of imposter syndrome. If you're on replay, scroll on through. Well, sounds like we're live. Hang on, let's turn that off. Hey, there we go. Scroll on through if you're on replay. And we will kick off the content at the end of the countdown party. And if you are a sparkler and you're a client, come on into the VIP room. We'll see you soon.
They keep saying I'll be fine, but how you know that I'll be there when it feels like I'm lying every time someone asks how it goes, and I save the details that actually mean something. Sun is shining, but the rain is welcome too. Friends are nearby, don't need another view. Time is not on my mind, but then it's you. Oh, I love it when the love comes around, and then I remember all things must pass. But I'm not gonna wake up, I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, not yet, whoa, no, not yet, whoa, no, not yet, whoa. But I'm not gonna wake up. Don't wake up, keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. I'm not ready, let me have another day. Don't wake up, keep it steady, cause I'm happy, I'm not gonna wake up. No, not yet, whoa, no, not yet, whoa, no, not yet, whoa. I'm not gonna wake up. You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win in every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. Yes, I'm the winner, yeah. Cause I'm the winner, yes. Am I awake or am I dreaming? So far gone, I won't look back. And when I move, there ain't no stopping me. You're pushing me up to the top. I saw the clouds looking angry, but then the sky reached my mind. And when I space out, I see the possibilities unfolding the way that I want. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory.
Welcome to Strategy with Sally. It's our weekly live. If you struggle with imposter syndrome, then today is the session for you. If you're watching out there, get those tippy tap fingers out. Let me know where you're joining from and I'll put your little name up on the screen. Come on, get those tippy tap fingers out. Come on back to me now. Let me know where you're joining me from around the big wide world.
Well, my heart wants to stay. I run away, hit the road, and almost there. But I keep turning back just like a boomerang. You're like a backseat ghost telling me to stop. No matter what you do, I keep on coming back. Just like a boomerang. Just like a boomerang. Just like a exactly where to push or pull. And I am going mad just like you knew I would. You're reading me like an open book. You know me better than I ever thought you could. You see my body rush for the escape, while my heart wants to stay. From my given disaster, speed away from the holy mind, pride. I swear I never thought it would matter if I'm gone by now. All my weakness keep on linger on repeat like it will be my favorite song. Oh, I know I should be moving on, but you got me good. You got me good. I keep on driving till it bends, still it feels like I pretend. Keep on driving and driving along the road to never end. Lost my head over my back between the jars and bottle jack. Just me and all the red lights. Keep on driving and driving. In the heat from my hot California, I forgot how you look like in rain. I swear I never thought it would matter if I'm gone by now. All my weakness keep on linger on repeat like it will be my favorite song. Oh, I know I should be moving on, but you got me good. You got me good. I keep on driving till
It's the Sparkle Song. Kicking off a little late with the Sparkle Song. It needs about 3 minutes to play, but that's okay. 2 minutes till kickoff.
You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine.
Hey everyone, welcome to Strategy with Sally. I'm so glad to see you all joining me today. I hope you had an amazing weekend as we head into the last few days of September. I cannot believe we're already here. Like, that's just crazy, right? All right, let me have a look. I need to bring my chat window up. I forgot to do that. Where's my little thing? Over here. There it is. Awesome. All right. Hi, guys. So nice to have you join me. This is our weekly live, and we do this every week, same time. So mark it on your calendar. If you're joining us on the live, let me know whereabouts you're joining us from. Did you know that there are 5 types of imposter syndrome? Today I'm going to share with you a little bit about my journey with imposter syndrome and things that I've used to help really push me through over and over and over again to really get me where I am today. So this is a silent, invisible thing that can show up in you, and it can evoke fear, anxiety, and even self-doubt. Did you know that 1/3 of people actually suffer from it? 70% of everyone else is likely to, 1/3 of young people suffer from it, and 70% of everybody else is more likely to experience it at some point in their lives. Now, this was a survey done on US adults, and it was conducted by the International Journal of Behavioral Science in 2011. So seriously, it's a huge portion of the population, and I know that it shows up time and time again. Are you a sufferer? Do you know if you have imposter syndrome that keeps sneaking on in? Now, before we explore the 5 types of imposter syndrome, let's first understand what it is. Imposter syndrome really is a psychological phenomenon, and it's where individuals doubt that their accomplishments, and they have a fear of maybe being exposed as like a fraud, despite there's probably evidence of their actual competency. You see, imposter syndrome can manifest in so many different ways. And when you understand these types, then you can start to recognize how to overcome it. So today, let's dig into that and the 5 types of imposter syndrome. So type number 1 is the perfectionist. Is that you? Our first type of imposter syndrome is known as the perfectionist. Do you often find yourself setting incredibly high standards and obsessively striving to be flawless? Is that you? If so, then you might be battling the perfectionism type of imposter syndrome. Now, it's characterized by the relentless pursuit of perfectionism and the fear of making even the smallest mistakes. So, for instance, you might spend hours proofreading a document and still feel like there's errors, or maybe you're afraid to submit a project or launch your program, right? Because there's this fear that it has to be perfect and it continues to delay your progress. Or maybe you get that anxious feeling about presenting, like turning up on lives, or fear that others will notice your imperfections. But here's the thing, guys. Nobody's perfect. We know this, right? So some things that you can do to help you overcome if you suffer from the perfectionism version of imposter syndrome is, one, you need to set realistic goals and deadlines for yourself so that you follow through, and just recognize that perfectionism is actually unattainable. You cannot be perfect. It just does not exist. And that mistake of always wanting to be perfect can really hold you back. So what I want you to start to do is see that mistakes or things that aren't perfect are actually just part of the learning process. So focus on progress that you've made rather than fixing all the flaws. Also, seek out some feedback and learn from constructive criticism. Like, take it on and listen rather than getting defensive. And really important is to practice self-compassion and remind yourself that you're just human. You're not a machine. So it's crucial that you set realistic goals, learn from your mistakes, and remember that imperfections are actually part of your growth. So next on the list is the expert. So the expert if you've ever felt that constant need to gain more knowledge, get more pieces of paper, up your credentials. Is that you? Well, maybe you're suffering from the imposter syndrome type of the expert. The expert imposter syndrome is marked by the belief that you must know everything and anything. It's a never-ending quest for expertise. So, for instance, maybe you're constantly enrolling in new course after course after course or certifications, thinking that you need more qualifications. Or maybe you're hesitant to join in a discussion sometimes because you're afraid that you just don't know enough. Or maybe you avoid mentoring others because you believe that you're not an expert yet. But remember, nobody actually really knows everything. So things that you can do to help you overcome this is, one, acknowledge your expertise, the knowledge that you have gained over all the years. Let me know in the comments or in the chat, actually write down, what are the areas of expertise? How long have you learnt about it or practiced it or had it part of your life? The second thing you can do to help overcome this is to embrace the idea that it's okay not to have all the answers. You don't need them all. If we don't know the answers, we'll say, let me get back to you on that, right? It's okay if you don't know all the answers. Share your knowledge and please mentor others, because it's wrong of you not to share your beautiful gift with the world. But recognize that teaching also reinforces your understanding. You may have heard me say in the past, the best way to learn is to teach, and it's totally true. And the third thing is to challenge the need for constant validation. And remember that learning is actually a lifelong journey. So acknowledge your expertise, focus on continuous learning, and recognize that no one has all the answers. All right, let's move on to number 3, which is the natural genius. Do you believe that success should come effortlessly? Or if it doesn't, you feel like an imposter? Well, the natural genius, imposter syndrome, you're actually convinced that you should grasp things instantly without any struggle or effort. So, for instance, you might struggle to pick up a new skill or a hobby, and you get frustrated when you don't actually excel at it immediately. Or maybe you avoid taking on new challenges or new experiences because you're afraid of looking inexperienced. Or maybe you feel embarrassed when you make a mistake. You think you should have known better. But remember, everybody learns at their own pace. So some things that you can do to help overcome this is 1, to embrace the learning process and be patient with yourself. Give yourself grace. And also view mistakes and setbacks as an opportunity for growth, for improvement. And set yourself realistic expectations. Your progress and your achievements are to be celebrated, but also set realistic expectations of how long it actually takes people to learn something new. And don't forget, always seek guidance and your mentorship, right? You may have a coach or somebody that you seek guidance from, and make sure you reach out to them when you need to. And always celebrate your successes, no matter how small. Like every Friday inside of our community, we always have a Friday celebration where even if it's the smallest thing, like I wrote an email that I've been putting off for a long time, right? Just celebrate, because it's not the easy thing that we do, especially as entrepreneurs, and we do need to celebrate those small wins along the way. So if you are suffering from the natural genius imposter syndrome, I want you to start to embrace the learning process, be patient with yourself, and remember that effort is part of mastery. Now, number 4 is moving on to number 4, which is the soloist. Do you prefer to work alone, or are you often refusing help or collaboration, thinking that you should be able to handle everything yourself? Right? Well, the soloist imposter syndrome makes you feel like you must be self-sufficient, and that seeking assistance is a sign of weakness. Is that you? So, for example, maybe you refuse to help on a project, or somebody offers to help you and you refuse it, even though you're feeling overwhelmed and you could use some assistance. Or maybe you just don't like asking colleagues for input on a project, believing that you should figure it all out on your own. Or maybe you avoid projects of working with a team because you're worried about letting other people down. But remember, teamwork can actually lead to greater success. I wouldn't be here today without the help of my team. And it was one of the hardest things I ever did, was hiring a team, because I can actually do all the things myself. But should I? No. So how do you overcome the soloist imposter syndrome? Well, 1 is to recognize that asking for help is actually a sign of strength within you and not weakness. And the second thing is to build a support network around you of colleagues, mentors, friends that you can collaborate with. And the third thing is just start to collaborate on projects. actually start actively looking and participating in activities where you can collaborate with others. Also, this was a really hard thing for me and I still struggle with it. Delegate tasks and responsibilities where appropriate. And then also share credit with others for, success is in the team. One of my friends always says, teamwork makes the dream work, but she also does follow that with, but you need to have the dream team. But anyway, look, here in recap of this one, we want you to start seeking support, recognize the value of collaboration, and understand that asking for help is a strength, not a weakness. Which now takes us on to, lastly, the Superwoman or Superman. Do you feel that you need to really excel in every aspect of your life, be it your work, your family, even your personal dreams and pursuits? Well, the Superwoman imposter syndrome, that really drives you to believe that you must be an exceptional role model. You must take on every role and be amazing at it. So, for instance, you say yes to every request for help. I suffer from that. Even when you're already stretched too thin, I always remind myself, no is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence, because I will keep saying yes and then have no time in my day. Maybe you feel guilty when you do actually take breaks, or, and I'm very guilty of this, you don't prioritize your self-care, thinking that you should always be productive. And you compare yourself to others who seem to excel in multiple areas, and then you start to feel inadequate. So juggling various responsibilities can be so challenging, and it's okay not to be perfect in every area of your life. And I struggle with this on a daily basis. So some strategies to really overcome this is to start to set boundaries and prioritize your self-care, and it will help to prevent burnout. I need to take a little bit of my own advice here, right? I need to do more self-care. I know this. You know that they say the best way to learn is to teach? Well, somebody says that, right? So here I am teaching, take more self-care. I'm trying to take my own advice right now. And also learn to say no when your plate is already full. And delegate tasks and responsibilities to others whenever you can. Like, even when I started my business, I started delegating to my daughter's best friend's brother, and I got him in scanning paperwork and receipts and things like that, because I was stretched too thin and my in tray just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I thought, I will get time one day. Another thing you can do is challenge the beliefs that you have to excel in every area of your life. I can't remember who told me this, but it was like where you're trying to, give 50% of your time to your family and 50% of your time to your business. Well, sometimes one needs more than the other. You can't actually give each 50%. There are times, like, for example, when we're in a live launch, business needs more attention. And I always use I wish I could, I want to, or I need to analogy when I'm trying to decide where to focus my time. So I'm digressing a little bit here, but I'll make a list and I'll brain dump all the things that I need to get done. And then I'll sort them into 3 lists. I wish I could do this. I want to do this, and I need to do this. Now, the things that end up in the need list change, okay? So, for example, if we're about to go into a launch and we're running ads, I need to make sure that all the pieces are moving. So I've got to sit there and set up and check the automation, right? But in regards to family, maybe I wish I could have a date night, but we had one last week. And I'm busy right now with work. Or maybe I want to have date night because it's been a little while, but we're good. And then I need to have a date night because I might get a divorce because my husband's love language is quality time. So, right, even you can wish, want, and need in your personal life as well. And finally, just focus in on your core values. Really, what truly matters to you. So summing this one up, set boundaries, prioritize self-care, take my own advice there, and remember that it is perfectly fine not to excel in some areas of your life while also giving grace to yourself and to others. So there you have it, folks. We've just journeyed through the complex landscape of imposter syndrome and overcoming these 5 common types. And I gave you some valuable strategies on how to overcome them. So I'd like to recap them for you. So the first one was really to understand imposter syndrome. One, imposter syndrome is that persistent feeling of self-doubt, the fear that you're going to be exposed as a fraud, despite evidence that you're actually competent. And recognizing and understanding the 5 types of imposter syndrome is essential to overcoming it. And they are: 1, the perfectionist. A perfectionist in imposter syndrome is marked as your pursuit of flawlessness and a fear of making mistakes. So to overcome it, set realistic goals, embrace being imperfect, and focus on progress over perfection. The second one is the expert. Expert imposter syndrome leads to individuals who believe that they need to know everything. They're constantly seeking validation. So to overcome this one, acknowledge that you do have an area of expertise. Be open to learning as a continuous journey and understand that nobody knows everything. And the third one was the natural genius. The natural genius in imposter syndrome makes individuals believe that they should be successful and it should come effortlessly. And to conquer it, you need to embrace the learning process. Be patient with yourself and learn from your mistakes. The fourth one is the soloist imposter syndrome. It's where you're convinced that you can do everything alone. And to overcome this, actively seek support, collaborate with others. Delegation is your friend, and recognize that strength is in asking for help. And the 5th and final one is the superwoman or superman. And this imposter syndrome drives individuals to excel in every single area of their life. So to combat this, set boundaries, prioritize your self-care, and understand that it's okay not to be perfect in all areas of your life. Now, I want you to start to embrace compassion. Throughout the journey of overcoming imposter syndrome, practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. And seek support. Build a support network of colleagues, mentors, coaches, friends who can provide guidance and encouragement on your journey as an entrepreneur. It is not the easy road. I want you to also challenge your negative beliefs, challenging the negative beliefs that fuel imposter syndrome. And with evidence of your achievements and your capabilities. So look back, actually write down everything that you've achieved in your life. And finally, remember, it's a journey. Overcoming imposter syndrome is an ongoing process. Be patient and persistent in your efforts. Now, when you're armed with all of these insights and strategies, you should now be well equipped to face imposter syndrome head on. But remember that you're not alone on this journey. You have the power to rewrite your own narrative in your mind. I suffer from this daily. It comes in waves. I can tell you, I have been struggling with this a lot lately. Hugely, actually. This is why I decided to talk about this today, because the best way to learn is to teach. It's been a while, but it's been popping its ugly head up a little bit lately, and I really wanted to reinforce and remind myself of the strategies, because when I started in this business, I just started hitting that go live button, and I was so scared, and I got more confident over time, but I've realized I do still get scared hitting that go live button now. And it's a little bit to do with imposter syndrome, because I can tell you, sure, the business is 6 years down the track and it's doing 7 figures, but I look at other people sometimes and I think, hey, look how far they got in 6 years and look where I am. I should be further along, right? And that really sneaks in as well. So I want you to take this on board. Let me know wherever you're listening or watching this, which one are you? Or maybe you're a mixture of everything. Take a screenshot of wherever you're listening and watching this and share it over on social media and tag me. All right. Okay. So if you really enjoyed today's live, we do this every single week. And I recommend that you subscribe, and ding, ding, ding. The best one is to turn that bell button on over on YouTube so you do not miss another live. Plus, if you want reminders you want to see all of our free live events, or sometimes they're paid, but mostly the free ones. We do so much free content. Then head to sparkleclassacademy.com/calendar, and you can actually subscribe to our Google Calendar, and we keep that as up to date as possible with all of the Sparkle World events. If you want to see behind the scenes stuff and me playing with my bird and my dogs and all the things, or just having a chat, follow us over on IG. But hopefully this has been a huge help to you. And I know this has been highly requested, because I did mention we were going to run this and then stuff happened personally in my family. But next week, we're going to be talking about how to use AI to create a quiz for your coaching business. A quiz is a great way, one, to generate leads, but secondly, to segment and survey your audience as well. So you can check and see if your marketing strategies are hitting the right places. So if you want to learn how to create a quiz using AI, then make sure that you do subscribe to us over on YouTube. All right, guys, if you want to learn more about the Sparkle Class Academy and you want me to dig my hands into your business, then feel free to book yourself a call. Go to sparkleclassacademy.com/book call, and I would love to dig through your business and see what holes I can find so I can plug them. All right, guys, have an absolutely fabulous week. All the VIPs, come on into the Zoom room. I can't wait to do some strategy with you, because that's what we do. We'll be hanging out for the next few hours doing all strategy. I will be there for you until all questions are answered. Have a fabulous day to everyone out there in the bright, beautiful, sparkling world. Never let anyone dull your sparkle. Make sure you get at least one income-producing activity done each and every day, and I'll see you on the socials. Bye.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're strong.